So this is just a turkey fryer. Ideally, you'd want something that is nice and big, lots of surface area to help with the evaporation. But this is what I've got. We'll upgrade when we can here. And we're off. I just made this out of some heating duct. So I can put this over it and retain some of the heat. This is what's left of right around 50 gallons of sap. It's been boiled down to this, and this has a little bit more to go to become actual syrup, and I'll show you how we tell that. And here I'm just sanitizing some jars. So once the jars are sanitized, which means just in boiling water for about 5 minutes, I like to pull them out and then just set them right in the oven. The oven's not on right now, but once we get ready to can, I'll turn this up to 200 so that everything is heated up just right. So I said this is pretty close to syrup. Now let me show you how we actually test it. So this is a hydrometer, and this measures the Brix of the syrup. And I can't really get into the science of what Brix is, but basically at I think it's 200 degrees, you want a Brix of at least 60 in order for it to be considered syrup, and that would be this red line right here. So this is weighted just so that when this is dense enough to be considered syrup, this will float up to the point where that red line will be visible, and that has to be a certain temperature at 200 degrees. It becomes syrup, they say, at 8 degrees over what water boils at. And so this water here just stopped boiling, so it's not a great measure. But if I measure this, what's water usually boil at? About 212? Yeah, it's 194 right now. So, but the temperature water boils at is always a little different depending on your elevation, the barometric pressure of that day. So let's just say that this read 212, then we'd be looking for somewhere around 220 on this to be considered syrup. And this is now saying 214. So we've got a ways to go. This will keep getting hotter and hotter as it burns off more water. That's only one check. I do that just to see how close we are. And then once we get really close, this is going to start bubbling up a lot more. If you're not careful, once you get close, you don't even want to walk away here, because this will bubble up and just go all over the place. If we pretend for a second that we're close to this being syrup, how we would do that, I would take this in one hand, just fill this up, put this in here. Oh, I don't have enough in there. Got to be all the way up to the top for it to float. All right, that's better. Drop this in there. Be very gentle so it doesn't slam to the bottom. So this, if I tap on it, this isn't even floating yet. So like I said, we've got a ways to go. But once this is just floating a little bit, and I can tap it down and it'll kind of bounce a little bit, that's when I know it's time to not walk away from this. And then once we reach that point, once that measure is good, I'm not going to bother with trying to with shutting the oven off, or the stovetop off. I have a hot pad set up just over there in the table. As soon as this tells me it's syrup, I'm going to grab this and remove it from the heat completely. I want it to stop boiling off as soon as possible. We have the filter. This is still wet, but because I just sanitized this as well. This is an Orlon filter, which I don't really know what Orlon is, but everyone says this is what you use to filter maple syrup. And I just switched to this last year. I was using like coffee filters and things before that, but I just switched to this last year, and this was cheesecloth is actually what I used before that, and it was okay, but it still left a lot of niter at the bottom, a lot of settling at the bottom of the jar. But once I started using this, almost no settling at all. Syrup came out a lot more clear. So this is good stuff. And I'll explain a little more about the filtering process when we filter, but yeah, Orlon filter. These are not cheap. I don't remember the cost, but I sprung for it. So I just have it drying over here until we're ready. Okay, now we're starting to see the kind of tiny little bubbles that indicate this is getting pretty close. Do another bricks test, see where we're at. Oh, not floating yet. Oh, it's floating. It's floating a lot. Okay. Ooh, we're there. Yep, that's syrup. Dunzo. Okay, so here's my filtering method. This is still a little damp, but I think that's okay. It's probably good for this to be kind of saturated when we start off here. So what I like to do is I like to fold this in a little bit. You want to be careful with this Orlon filter. You're not supposed to fold it or anything. You can damage the fibers. But this particular thing I'm about to do seems worth it. So I just poke the middle in like that, just like that. So now inside here, there's a little cone sticking up in the top, which means when I pour the syrup in, it's going to use all around the edges here to filter it. And then once that gets clogged up with the stuff we're filtering out, I can just poke the top through, and then I have a whole nother unused part of the filter, basically. And then I have these pre-filters, which I also sanitized. I call them pre-filters, but I can't remember what they're called online. But if you search maple syrup filters, they'll come up. And so I like to put these off to one side or the other of that cone that I pushed up through. Not only does it give it another level of filtering, but once this starts to not filter very quickly, I can just pull out that filter and toss another one in, and then we're further not compromising the Orlon. But it's important to do this right away while the syrup is hot. It'll filter a lot easier while it's hot. It's pretty dark. It is natural for, as the season to go on, for the syrup to get a little darker and darker as you go. So this is slowed down to a drip now. I think it's time to swap out the pre-filter. Should have said this one you can squeeze. The Orlon, you don't want to do that, but this one you can squeeze a little bit. It will force through some of the stuff that you don't want, but that's okay. The Orlon's going to catch it. These ones are cheap. These ones I'll throw away every year and get new ones. They clean pretty easily too. These two pre-filters, and the Orlon, I've already used once this year. Just with warm water, they wash right up. I don't use soap or anything. So that's done for now, and we'll pop another one in. And this one I'm going to put on the other side of that fold. So I hope it doesn't sound like I'm overcomplicating things. All you really have to do is collect some sap and boil out the water. All right, the second pre-filter I think is ready to go. And there's not a whole lot left in here. I think the rest of it I'm just going to start dumping directly in.